everyone, it's me, Anthony Coach, a guitarist on YouTube. Yes, yet another video on YouTube where a guitarist attempts to explain modes.
You're joking. Not another one?
Why am I adding to the thousands of videos that already exist? Well, two reasons. Number one, because it's a tough subject and you can't ask videos questions. So the more videos talking about the same thing, I think, the better. But reason number two, because I get to perform for you one of my favourite magic tricks.
Pull a rabbit out of the guitar.
Well, I'm not really talking actual magic trick. This is a modal trick that I think gets overlooked when people talk about mods. Mods, I think, is mainly confused as a subject, get easily confused because it gets overcomplicated very quickly. And I think that some explanations, especially for guitarists, fail to explain this one thing. It made mods click for me. But before I get going, do you like guitar communities? I have launched the Couch Potatoes guitar community over on Facebook, and the link is down there in the description. Well, almost said loads of people in there. There's a nice number of people in there, and the people in there are nice. So come and join the Couch Potato guitar community. I'm aiming for 50 potatoes to be in there. You could be one of them. Look at the link. Mods as a subject often gets confused because, in my opinion, the main reason, it gets overcomplicated very quickly. What I'm aiming to do with this video is to simplify it, to show you this one thing that I think gets really overlooked when people talk about learning mods and the function of mods. When people learn mods, it tends to be, for us guitarists, that we do our favourite thing and learn shapes that move around the neck. And do you know what? That's a really good thing, to be able to memorise all those shapes that are really good and useful. You're learning modal patterns though when you do that kind of thing, and you compartmentalise the neck into these big jigsaw pieces so you can play from fret 3 all the way up to 15 and beyond by piecing the neck together, memorising those shapes. But music theory goes beyond shapes. A piano player doesn't understand frets and shapes, but we need to speak that same language as all the other musicians. So what I want to do, and I'm going to illustrate this with some examples coming up very soon, is I want you to shift the way you're thinking if you're struggling with mods. C major, everyone's favourite key, is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, not including that last C. Think about those notes, not in this way, but in this way. Just a selection of notes, a collection of sounds. Okay, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, not particularly in that order. Each note is as equal as each other. Okay, those notes are floating around. I'm going to play those notes now for you, completely jumbled up, all around the neck. The notes that you're about to hear are only ever going to be C, D, E, F, G, A or B. Okay, you get the idea with that. All the notes there were very equal. There was no root. All these notes were floating around. There was no perspective. That's a nice word that I just came up with that describes what I'm trying to talk about. Perspective. You need to have a perspective for these notes. In other words, you need to have another pitch to give context to that group of notes that you're playing. If you put the note C under that group of notes, we perceive that, when we listen to it, as being in the key of C, because that note underneath, that's like a foundation, a root note. And when we hear the note F, we think, oh, on a subconscious level we think that's a fourth away, that's a perfect fourth away. You don't have to have perfect pitch or relative pitch or know this theory. It works on a subconscious level that you either note C and you either note F, and it's got a particular sound. It's a fourth away. Then if you play an A, that's a sixth away from that root note. So every time I play an F, it was a fourth, and every time I play an A, it was a sixth. Getting a bit in depth there and a bit abstract, but hopefully you see what I mean. That's our perspective. C is the perspective, shifting the way we think about that previously random group of notes and forcing them to resolve to C because of this perspective. Here's a nice little cheesy lo-fi guitar backing track that I made, and all you're going to hear is the chord C, maybe with a few embellishments like a C major 7 or something. I can't remember what I did, but a chord of C, certainly a root note of C, with that random notes going on over the top. It sounds like this. It sounds fine. Everyone's happy when it's the major key. Adverts like the major key or the Ionian mode because they don't want anything sounding confrontational. Nursery rhymes are in the key of C, in Ionian, usually. So C major is that sound. It's the standard happy major sound, however you want to call it. So here's where I think many people fall when they think about the second mode, or any of the other modes, but in this case the second. The second mode in the key of C major is D dorian. It's very easy now for us to look online and find a shape to play that we have to do for D dorian, but you don't have to, as long as anywhere on the neck you're playing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, but the note underneath is now a D. The perspective has changed to a D. Your audience will perceive that same group of notes to be in a different mode. That is so strange. It's like magic. Listen to what happens, because when I do that, you're going to hear another cheesy backing track with D minor underneath, or D, putting emphasis on the note D, a new perspective. Not only am I playing the same notes, but you're going to see this same exact video footage. I only filmed one solo, the same solo, but I've changed the chord underneath. Listen to this. It changes the sound. That is so odd. The same exact notes I played in the exact same order, the same guitar solo, but I changed the perspective. It's like looking at a building and looking at this side and then just going to the other side and looking at the same building. Whatever metaphors or analogies you want to use, I've changed your perspective. What about if I do it on the third degree of a C major scale? The third mode is E Phrygian. When I did this, I didn't think, right, E Phrygian, what's that shape for E Phrygian? Okay. No, I just kept the exact same solo footage that you're about to see, but I changed the backing track underneath. I'm doing something a little bit different, though. I'm cheating a little bit because I'm making it sound more Phrygian by just adding in some notes that I know can force a Phrygian sound. In the backing track, remember the lead playing doesn't even change, it's the same exact footage. Listen to it. mind-blowing. When I figured this out, or was told this, I can't remember what happened, but when I think back about mods and about that confusion that I had, and that I know that every guitarist and musicians, but it tends to be the guitarists who get a bit fixated with them when they find out that Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and all those big names, shredders, are into mods. We fixate on them a little bit. When I figured that out, I just thought I've been overcomplicating it all this time, and I really didn't need to. As soon as I started thinking about notes not as being strictly in order of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, but more just floating around in the ether, and then you change the emphasis on the notes, that really made a massive clicking sound in my brain, and it just made me think, I get it now. A bit like the Matrix, when he sees in binary and he gets it, he understands it. No, yeah, this oversimplifies an abstract concept. Mods is tough. It's tough to learn, and it's tough to teach in a 10-minute video. But hopefully this was a different angle that you've not yet considered, and that it was helpful more than anything else. As I said, there are lots of couch potatoes growing over on Facebook. Follow that link in the description. We just chat about guitar stuff, and we'd like to see you there. I've been Anthony Couch, thanking you all very much for watching this far, with some extra special thanks reserved for these incredible names that pop up while I just play a C chord for 5 seconds or 10 seconds or something. Thank you very much for watching.